Right. And let's continue. So till which topic we had discussed yesterday? We had discussed till data types. You see this, right? So if you observe, you can observe all this. And then what else we have to discuss? So we have discussed till this point. Okay. Okay, we'll do one sample example first, and then and we'll talk about operators. Then I'll talk about type conversion. That is also one more topic we need to discuss. So then we'll start with the control statements from Monday. Probably, if possible, we'll discuss today. If time is not there, we'll start from Monday. So, so how to write a simple program in Scala? That is something which we should discuss here. And how to just quickly test the program. We have to understand it quickly. So it's simple. Whenever if you want to write any program in Scala, this is our first program, of course. You can take it as hollow Scala or whatever it is. It might be fine. Don't need to worry too much about it. Okay. So now let's continue there. What is the first thing here? Whenever you write any Scala program, we can write it in two ways. When you talk about Scala, and one more thing is before going to it, I discussed this. The previous session videos are updated in the YouTube channel. So if anybody needs any backup, you can go through that and you can update yourself. Okay. And now, whenever we talk about Scala programming, and in the very first session, we came to know that Scala supports different types of programming paradigms or programming styles. Otherwise, that is a difficult statement. It supports different programming styles. It supports both functional programming, that is one thing. Also, it supports object-oriented programming. That is one more thing. Okay. In that way, it supports two types of programming. Means Scala is something which acts as a bridge between functional and object-oriented programming. Okay, that is fine. The question is, we can write program in two ways here. We can do a functional code as well as we can do a object-oriented program. But the question is, how do you do that? How do we implement functional program? How do we implement object-oriented program? That is the question. It's simple, guys. If it is functional programming, what do? You have to use an object, a singleton object. This is called singleton. Means, I told you, if it is something is singleton, for that at most one object is created. Means you have only one copy of that object, and we call it as singleton. Okay, if it is a functional coding, we write functional coding inside this object. We use this object, and inside that construct, object construct, we write code. That is called, and for that we use a object here. It's construct object. Suppose if it is object-oriented programming, without any doubt, we can tell that your code has to be inside a class. We write it inside a class. That is an object-oriented programming. It has a class and object concept. The object in sense, not this one, not the keyword object. There will be an object created for a class. I'll talk about it when we discuss OOP, object-oriented programming. I think you are following this right. So that's about this one. So next one. So is this fine for all of you so far? So how do you write code here? If it is functional programming, we use object construct. I'm not saying object but object construct. Construct means something like a syntax kind of. Whereas for object-oriented programming, we need a class. So generally we use class or traits, something which is specific to the OOP style of coding. Okay. Now, for some time we will work on this functional style. Okay. But everything is object. Even if you write inside this object, this is a singleton object. Okay. I told you in the first or second session. In Scala, everything is object, even including your data types. If you look at that data types yesterday, all those are classes. Okay, when you look at all them, they are not keywords, they are classes. We had a detailed analysis yesterday. What is that? All those are classes. Means everything is an object here because Scala is a pure object oriented programming. Even Python is also pure object oriented. If you talk about Java, Java has a primitives. Your data types are primitives in Java. But here it is not the case. It is a different case. Okay. Now, if you look at it, you can see here. You can. How do you define this class here? So sorry. How do you define your object? Object name. That is the syntax. Inside that, this main is a standard function. The syntax is a standard here till this one. And inside that, you have to write your Scala code here. Okay. I'll just write a simple code here. You can directly write a code in command line as well. But I told you right, switching to IDE is a good thing for all of us because using Eclipse or IntelliJ will help you better when you are working in a real project. Okay. So if you look at all this, what is that? To write a functional program, we need an object construct. Inside that, we have to declare a main function. Why main? Because in any language, if you should run a program without main, you cannot run it. Okay. Why? Because main is the most important and crucial function. Without your compiler detects your start of the program from main itself. That's how it is. So what do you do right now? Now go to the command line. Just say object some test. Oh, no, I think object. I should have put braces here. You have to put braces, sir. Otherwise, it will just create object for test itself. It doesn't have a body here. That is not going to help us. And we have to define functions in Scala with a keyword called def. We do the same thing in Python as well. Suppose if you want to define any function in Python, we have to use def. Why I brought that into the picture? Because Python is there from 1989. Scala came just from a decade. Okay, from past one decade, Scala is becoming popular. That too, it is becoming popular from past 3 to 4 years. Earlier, nobody knows about Scala. Got it right? So you have to define any function in Scala by using a keyword def. Then you have to put main. That is important. And then right, variable name. And then what is that? You know how to define a variable in Scala, right? You don't need var keyword or val keyword here. Just variable name. And then data type. Inside that a parameter. Okay, and close it. Again, open this. I didn't close the mistake is I could close the main here. Let me try this. Object test. Give me a minute. I'll fix this. Put df main and then args. You can give instead of args, you can give any name. It's not like you should use args here. Array, and then inside that declare a string. Then close it. Then it is expecting assignment. I don't think you need assignment actually. Might be one minute. That is fine then.
Close braces is not there.
No. Closing, I have added it.
close the parenthesis.
Mm, okay,
Before
okay.
opening the
Even an additional one, I understand my mistake. This is enough, I hope. This is not necessary. Process deprecated. Instead, add unit equal to explicitly declare means. Okay, I understand. We are using the latest version, right? This is 2.13, right? Earlier, we don't have such issue. We can directly declare like this. If you see, we can declare it like this. Okay, no need of any that thing. But as the latest code, it is demanding that I will tell all this. Let me define one more time. I will fix it. Understand what is the issue? Object test. Then define main and then args colon array. And in the brackets declare it as string. Okay. And then close this. And then what you have to do is you have to mention the return type. The return type you usually mention it as unit and then like this. Can you see there? Usually in the older versions, this unit is not required. Unit is something like void. If you are from C language or C++ or Java, I will explain anyhow. Just for now, you remember this. That's all. Because we will discuss functions topic. When we move to functions, I will explain everything in detail. Like you don't need to think much about it. This is called as a return type. In the latest versions, it is expecting return type. Suppose this program which we are using here, you look at this sample. This is actually targeted for older versions. This will work in old version, but still fine, not an issue. Adding unit is not going to harm us in any way. So what is that? You have to add this return. It's clearly saying that it is expecting that. Okay, now it is expecting a return type like this. So now what you have to do? A print statement. System dot out dot then println off. You can add anything like hello or something. Okay, and then close your main and close your object. So we are done with defining an object. I think this is clear, right? First, what is that you have to do if you want to define any functional program? You have to define an object like this, and it should be like this: object space object. That is one thing. And inside that, you should define main here. That should have one parameter. It's like even this is required in even Java or even C sharp because a main method takes a parameter, a string parameter. Okay, here it is taking a string array with string. Okay, usually even in Java also it takes a string array. So even in Scala, we pass an argument as an array string. Okay, then this is a print statement, and you have to follow some standards here. Whenever we are using some classes or some objects in this kind of programming languages, the starting letter of any class should be uppercase. Observe carefully. The keywords has to be in lowercase. This object, this def, okay, and main has to follow camel case. Methods has to follow camel case. I will explain standards of writing a code. Nothing to worry about. Okay, and then this is unit. Unit is also a kind of data type, and it is like a wide data type. Whenever if a function is not returning anything, and you declare it as unit, here main is not returning anything. I'm just printing something inside that. You don't see any return keyword inside this main function. In such case, usually main don't return values. Okay. Normal customized function return values. Main function is used for more for executing your code. It is a starting point for execution. So when you put unit means what? You are not returning any value here. And you have to initialize, you have to again declare with an equal here, an assignment here, that is important. Usually that happens in functions in scale. That is how you define a function. But for now, you blindly memorize this. That's all. Memorize means just by heart or remember it. Just you change the statements inside mind. That's all. Remaining things you can follow the same. Here you can change the class name and you can change this inside statements. The main signature is almost standard. You don't need to worry about it. Just remember. And here S is uppercase again. String is a class. Whenever it is a class, the starting letter of a class has to be uppercase. Keep in mind. Keywords has to be lowercase. Functions has to be in camel case. You have to remember these points. Unit is a class again. It is a data type. I told you all data types are classes in Scala. So U is uppercase. And assignment is required in the latest versions. The earlier versions, unit and assignment are not necessary. But in the latest versions, you need that. That is important. Okay. Now I created an object. Now I want to test it. How do I test it? Simply that object dot. You can, if you want to test from command line, you can simply say that object name dot and then main. You have to pass an array object, and that is important. An empty array because it has a parameter. Whenever a function is having a parameter, we should pass some value to that. Here, as I don't wish to pass any values, I just pass an empty array here. If you ask us what is all this, sir, could you elaborate it? See, we are in the very beginning. Don't worry. Just follow this. That's all. Just remember and start following. That's all. Whenever we go to the functions topic, we'll explain in detail why you need to call like this and why you are passing a parameter like this. What and we will also do a postmortem of every keyword in that in that function. Okay, what is def, what is main, okay, what are these parameters, what is this unit, what is this equal, if what if you don't put equal, is equal really necessary, should we put return type. We'll discuss all this in the coming sessions. Okay, when we move to the functions topic, we will have a detailed analysis on that. This is a print statement. Just remember, if you want to display any results, okay, if you want to print your very values, then we need print statement. Now just say this, enter here. You can see this is how you call a function from command line. You have to use object name dot main. So that you have to pass one parameter array because you can see here it is expecting some parameter. So I am passing an empty array here. Just print it, call that, then it will print, right. All of you are good now. Is it clear? You can test it, sir. Now all of you test it. That's what Manichand. We will talk about functions when we come to the functions topic. We are just in the introduction, and this is too early to talk about it. If function returns something, then instead of unit, suppose if it returns integer, that colon you have to put int. If it returns a float, that colon you have to put float. If it returns string, that colon you have to put string. Understood? If it returns something, if function returns, what we have to use? That is the question. Got it right? Okay, come on, guys. But still, that is, we will talk about it in very detail. We will have a very detailed thing. Okay. Okay. Now you test it yourself. All of you have your software ready for your programs. Test it once. Test this hello world program once in Scala. You can also test directly from command line also. If you don't have all this, you can open, just type here online Scala editor, and you can from online, you can test from online as well. Okay, if you want to do that. Understood, right? What you can type here, online Scala editor, you can type it. Okay, you can see here something like Scastic. You can type here. You can write a Scala code and just save it, and then you can run the code from here. Okay, it is giving something. If not this one, you can also you can use this tutorial point is providing Scala fiddle.io, that is there. Okay, you can try JDoodle. You can try this. These are all the online editors. Okay, you can try from there as well. I think most of you know that, right? Because you are from working environments. So, did you finish this testing this code? All of you finish testing this code. Okay, let us test. Let us see a few more programs here, because as we have anyhow come to discuss these points. What are the observations here? What are the observations? Observations are first thing. Whenever we talk about a Scala program, how do you write a functional program in Scala? We use object construct. That is one thing, and it should have what is that inside that? We should declare a main function inside that. What is that we should declare? A main function. Why main function? Because it is the starting point for execution. Your compiler will check whether main exists or not. The execution starts from main. Okay. And what is the syntax of main here? Signature. Otherwise, what is the signature of main? It has to be declared with def, and it has to be we should declare it as main. Then we have to use args colon. Array is the we should declare a string array string. Okay. And then we have to declare a return type followed by colon. And generally we can use int here unit, sorry, and then uh, a body for that. Okay, this is how we define main function. For any function, def is the standard keyword we declare, means define that function. That is what is this object here. Whatever we declare, this functional object is a singleton. What is that? It is a singleton. Just remember, I'll talk about it again. Maybe we'll talk more on singleton objects. Okay, I'll give detailed explanation one more time. Not immediately, it's not necessary. With singleton, in sense, at most we can have one copy of object for it. Okay, so that is the point here. So that is one more thing. And then what else we have discussed? The print statement. What is that print statement in Scala? System dot out dot println. And here, when you look at this, the starting letter has to be uppercase. That is very important. Remember, starting letter has to be uppercase in system, because system is a class. Rest of the out and println has to be lowercase, because these are the common mistakes usually beginners will do. When you start something with programming, beginners will do such mistakes. Okay, then close this. Okay, right? Now after this, what is next one? Now we are talking about we'll do one thing. We'll just do a small program now. The first program. Let's try this. Write a program. Let's try some quick programs. Then I will switch to operators. Write a program to find area of a triangle. Try this. Okay, not area of triangle, sum of two numbers. We'll start from there. Sum of two numbers. That is first program. Then after that, area of a triangle. That is second program. Test all this now. I told you, right? You are going to practice with me. Area of a circle. Area of a rectangle. Try this. Then area of circle. Okay. Test all this first. These few programs. Start doing the first one. Sum of two numbers. How do you do that? It's simple. First, you should take object test, then take your main function, and then inside that declare two variables, some uh, var space, or you can also declare this as, you don't need to change it, right? Var space a colon int equal to 10. Yesterday we have finished discussing data types, right? I think I should talk about declarations once, okay? Var space a colon int, sorry, b colon int. We cannot declare same variable again one more time in the same scope, okay? Int equal to 20, and then val c colon, okay, int equal to a plus b, and finally print the result here. Just use system dot out dot print ln of c here, and close your main and close your class, close your object, okay? So you can see here, I am following the syntax strictly. What is syntax? Variable name colon followed by data type and then value, initialize with value. Yesterday we have discussed. If I need integers, use int keyword. If I need float, use float here. If I need character, use double here. If I need uh, what else we have? Character string here. You use string here. That's how you have to use data types. Okay, follow the syntax and this keyword. You know, any variable in Scala has to be declared with either val or var. Okay, makes your variable immutable, and var makes it is immutable. You can modify if you declare as var. If you declare val, they becomes immutable. Okay, fine, no issues. So object is created. Just test it. How do you test it? Test dot main of array. Put an empty array to that, and you got 30 there. You can see the output. Look at it. That 30 is there. 10 plus 20 is 30, right? This is how you should define variables and initialize them. We are doing two things here. We are declaring variable and we are initializing it. We are doing two things here. Okay. Is this clear for all of you now? Some numbers tested, guys. Just test it once. If anybody needs to test it, please test it. Okay. Next one after that. So this is sum of two numbers. What else we can do? We can also just quickly, before going to continue further, how do you declare variables? The syntax is, right? You have to use this val or var, and then you have to use some variable name of your choice. Then colon, you have to use data type, and then you have to say assignment value. Follow this, okay? Suppose I need a char value. How do I declare a char value? Some val space, some a colon char. We have to declare it in single quotes. Many people do mistake here. It has to be in single quotes. Don't declare two characters. Declare just one character. This is important. And then what else? If I need a byte value, a colon byte equal to something. Don't put this in quotes. Only character has to be in quotes. Integer, numeric data. Integer and decimal should not be in quotes. Remember that, okay? Then val space, some a colon, short equal to some 20. Okay? This is how you declare the short variable. Here I'm just testing, I'm just explaining. So I'm using same variable. But in a program, you cannot redeclare same variable again in the same scope. Okay? So you give different variable names. Similarly, you declare int and long. You know the differences we have discussed yesterday. There will be change in the sizes and ranges, right? Got it. In C1, for decimal, how do you declare float here? We declare float like val some a colon float equal to 20.5f. Okay, don't forget to suffix this f. I'll talk about it. Why, if you don't suffix, what happens? I will show you. But this is how you have to define. If it is a float variable, suffix a float literal with the f, small f or capital F. That is important. And finally, val score. If I want double, how do I declare double? Val space some double equal to some 30.6. 30.6. Okay, similarly, you can define int and short also. Val space a colon int. You can define int like this. Int equal to some 30. You can define long also the same way. So this is one thing you have to get clarity, because I just want to quickly discuss this with you before you start doing coding. If you have any doubts on how to declare and initialize, and this is how we do there. Got it right? You can also use string. You can declare string like this. If not val, you can use var also. A string equal to some ABC. This is how you declare string here. It has to be in double quotes. If it is boolean, you have to define like this: some x colon boolean. Okay, and you have to initialize either true or false to that. That is important. Boolean equal to some true here. That's it. This is how you declare the variables in Scala. Got it? So that's it, folks. This is the idea about what how to declare and initialize. We are doing two things here. Okay. Next one after this is so we have done this simple program. All of you got clarity here, right? How to declare an object construct here, then to write a functional program, then how to declare variables and how to use print statements. We have to use system.out.println, and we should pass the variable directly to that. Okay, whatever you are trying to print. I will explain anyhow. More you get more understanding when I discuss operators. These are very basic rules. For now, just only pass resultant variable. If you if you want to print A, B, C in one print statement, then I will explain that. But if you want to print all, what do you do? Excuse me, guys. What do you do? You have to concatenate all these variables like this. I'll just show you. So the disadvantage with writing code here is this. What is that? In the command line, you cannot reuse the code. Okay, what I have to do? Again, I have to copy and paste it. So that is the disadvantage. It's coming like this. Okay, no problem. We can quickly test it. Type it like this. Object test. And then how to use print statement here? I'm just showing you quickly. If you want to print multiple values, how to use it. So colon, then args colon array. You have to use array string of like this, and then colon unit equal to opening bracer, and then something mistake happened here. So this is the mistake you can see here. I'm writing main inside main, nested mains. Okay. So I think now this is fine. Then use a printer. Suppose I have multiple variables like this. What is that? Val some a colon int equal to some 10. Then val some b colon int equal to 20. Then val c equal to, suppose if I want to print all these three variables, what is that I should do here? I should do concatenation. How to use concatenation? How, like this? Something like system dot auto dot println. Okay, of how to say a plus you have to use concatenation. Plus is called concatenation, and after that use some space. That is important. Okay, this is a string actually. Combine this with string. Use some space after a plus b. Again concatenate it. Use some space. Okay, and then plus a c. This is how you should define. Anyhow, when I discuss operators, we'll start today itself. When I discuss operators, I will explain why we should use this spaces between concatenation operator. What if you directly say a plus b plus c? What happens if you say a plus b plus c directly in the print statement? You get sum of all these three numbers. And if you are not separating with the this space here with a string, okay? So that is the disadvantage. And I will explain how it behaves when I explain concatenation operator. Okay, press enter. Method plus in class, since adding a number and the string is deprecated, use string. Okay, it is asking string interpolation. Okay, I understand. So things were different from when? From 2 from the latest version, there is a lot of changes happening here. Okay, no issues, sir. So I will do one thing. Let me use my Eclipse because every time I cannot copy and paste. I'll show you how to run it from Eclipse. Okay, yesterday also we have downloaded Eclipse. You remember, right? We have Eclipse in the downloads. Eclipse for what? Eclipse for Scala. That's what we need. Okay. Eclipse for Scala. But still, are you good till this point? Are you good till this point, right? All of you. Anybody has any doubts till till this? Any doubts, folks? Got clarity, right? First thing is how to define all this and how to declare variables and how to find this thing. Still, we can continue without interpolation. Interpolation means concatenation. Usually, this is a valid statement, but they are saying from 2.13 it is deprecated. This is something new for all of us. Okay? But still not an issue. We can still apply interpolation, not a problem. It's like applying dollar, and I can see they were clearly giving us the solution. Nothing to worry. Uh, what shall I do now? Shall I run this in Eclipse and show you, or should I run it from the command line itself? What do you want me to do? What is this thing? What do you want? Which one shall we use? Shall I Eclipse? Huh? Okay, somebody is asking from Eclipse. So anyhow, so far we have seen how to run programs from command line, and we will also see how to run it from Eclipse, so that from tomorrow we can start working with Eclipse itself. And then we will also quickly finish these remaining programs and switch to operators topic. Okay. I'm going in little detail, so it is taking some time. No, be little patient here. If you want to get more information. Yeah, please mute your machine. It's causing a lot of noise. Okay. Okay, go. I downloaded yesterday Eclipse. Okay, fine, no issues. It will hardly take a minute. So you can also see how to download and install Eclipse here. Just observe this. Download. You can also try parallelly with me and install Eclipse. We don't need to do any installation. That is a zip folder. We just need to extract that zip. Just what you have to do, you have to just run the application file. That's all. Eclipse application. I'll show you now. So here Eclipse, just type here Eclipse. All of you can try this along with me. Eclipse for Scala. And you can directly come here and see this is Scala ID for Eclipse. Click on this and then click on this download IDE. Okay, it will take you to the downloads. If I am, all of you are following, right? Take to the downloads page here. And then in that you have Windows, Mac, and Linux, and it is asking Java 8. If you are going for the latest version, it is minimum expecting Java 8. And then what do you do? Click on this Windows 64. You can see there, yesterday you don't need to just cancel one. Now it will hardly take a minute or so, not more than that. Okay, it is hardly taking a minute or so. So you need to just download it. Okay. Once you do that, you don't need to do anything. All of you are doing that. If you don't have Eclipse, please install Eclipse in your machine. I will show you how to work with Eclipse here. Okay. Command prompts are. Manoj is asking me to show command prompt. Anyhow, Manoj, we have to switch to Eclipse today or tomorrow. So let me first finish this. And then if you want, I'll show you from command line. Anything, see the print statement, command prompt or Eclipse is same. Only thing is the way we run it will change. That's all. Okay, it's ready. What do you do right now? Go to the downloads, go to the download folder where you have downloaded it, copy this, copy, and put somewhere in some local drive instead of everything, because downloads means it has everything there. And then right click and then say extract. Extract this. All of you are downloading this. So extraction is over. Double click on this. You can find Eclipse folder. So did you download your Eclipse, folks? And then Eclipse again one more time. And this is your, you can see here, inside this, this, you can see this. This is this image, whatever you are seeing here. You have to double click on this. This is your application file or executable file. You should double click on this. Then you can see oxygen getting started. Okay. Your Eclipse is starting here. Okay. And here you can choose workspace where you want to create your all your programs. Workspace means all your projects will be created inside this. Usually go for use some D drive or E drive so that your C drive won't be overloaded. Okay. I'm giving my E drive for this. Okay. For workspace. So here I'm just choosing it as a set of users. I'm giving it as Manohar. Then click on launch. You can change the drive or the folder where you want to save your projects. Okay. At the start of your Eclipse, it will ask you where to save it. You can change that. Now this is your ID. You can see here now. Now what do you do right now? Go to the file, then just say, once this is open, what you have to do? Go to file, and then new. And then what is that I need? You have different types. You can have a Java project or a Scala project. But for now, what I need a Scala project. So, and you choose your default JR. You can see here, Scala will run on top of Java. So choose, use a project specific JR. That is important. Select this and give a project name here. Okay. What you have to do? I think all of you are following, right? Is it clear, or anybody feels we are a little fast? Is it fine for all of you folks? If you want me to wait, I will wait. Nothing to worry. But if you think it's fast, just tell me to slow down. Nothing to worry. because this is not what is that one-way traffic. If you wish to me to slow down, tell me to slow down, or if you have any issue, ask me to explain one more time. But don't feel anything, okay? Disconnected. Now here, give some project name. You give it as Scala project one. Okay, and just click on finish. I think all of you created, right? All of you are doing this, right? Are you trying to download Eclipse and are you trying to run it from Scala now? Now expand this, and then you can see a source here. Right click on that. Okay, right click, and then you have to say new. You have to use Scala object here. Can you see this now? Choose Scala object because we are doing functional programming, and give some name here. Give some name here. So what you have to do once you create project, what is that you should do? You have to go to source, right click on that, then you get a and choose Scala object, and then give some name here. I'm giving test here, and then click finish. You know why we choose idle? Because in command line, every time I have to rewrite the code. If it is idle, I don't need it to rewrite and put your main here. Add main, not this main. Our function main. Okay, we need this one. You can see that, right? So that is one advantage here. Is this visible for all of you, or should I increase the font size? Is it visible for all of you? Okay, if you want to increase font, you can go here and then click on colors and fonts. Choose the Scala. Then you can see some font here. Okay, okay, fine, no issues. Java. So I choose JavaScript. We need Java. Okay, some font takes this font here. Okay, apply. Can you see this now? You have to choose Java text editor, not Scala. Okay, even though it is Scala for Eclipse. Now you can see the font has increased. Now you have to declare your variables val space a colon int equal to some 10. Okay, then you can also do that. The advantage is we can copy paste here fast. We can do it fast. Okay, and we can say a plus b here. Then there is a typo. Let me fix that typo. A plus b. And then now system dot out dot println. I am not trying to on this SYSO. This is a shortcut actually, but some reason it's not giving me. No problem. I will keep typing this completely. System dot out dot println. I need to print everything. It is asking me to use what is that? Usually we can say like this. Let me first show you. This is the standard Java practice. Okay. Still Java supports this approach, but somehow Scala people have they have just changed it. So what you have to do? A plus B plus C. This is how we can print a value. And if you run this, right click on this and just say run as a Scala application. This time you can see there. The editor is supporting this. Can you see this now? But when you run it from command line, it's showing an error. Can you see this? But if you go for Eclipse, because why? One reason is I am not using 2.13 here. This is 2.12. Can you see this here? Which version I am using here? 2.12. Don't worry. Nothing to worry too much about it. I will show interpolation as well. but just showing why this is working here means one reason is this one. Still, you can add latest version to this, nothing to worry. So now interpolation means we print like this. We apply dollar and print. What is that? Some S, dollar A, dollar B, then dollar C. Let me try this. This is a kind of interpolation. Let me run it. How this is going to work. There will be a small change to the syntax. Now you can see this. You got the output, right? If you want some space, you can put space in this quotes, and it has to be having a prefix S at the start of the string. You can see I am including all the variables followed by dollar. These dollars are called placeholders. We call them as what? This is a common practice in shell script. Okay, we follow such kind of construct in shell script. Dollar A means in place of A, the value of A is substituted. Dollar B means in place of B, the value of B is substituted. Dollar C means the value of C is substituted. And when I run this, now I put some space there. Then I am running it. Right click, run as a Scala application. This is much more easier for you, right, than the before one. Putting some spaces. Now you can also do like this. A is, you can also add some text before this. Except this dollars remaining or will become a text. Okay, and then you can also new line. New line means pushes us to the next line. A is, B is, then you can put a new line. Then you can say C is, and save this. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of readability for the output, so that when in the output it comes like this. A is after dollar $A, the value of A gets printed. We'll give, let's give 20 here for a change. And B is dollar $B means the value of B is printed in place of dollar $B. C is dollar $C means the value of C is printed in place of dollar $C. Means now new line will push the cursor to next line instead of printing everything in the same line like this 10, 10, 10, 20. Okay, it will be pushed. You can see the output and you see the difference. What new line does here? It will push value from there to the next line. Wherever new line is there, immediately it will push the next line to the next attribute to the next line. Okay, this one B is, it is going to push this output to the next line. Right click, then say run as Scala application. Now you can see what it's something like this. A is, B is, C is, got line by line. Wherever there is new line, from there your output is pushed to next line. If I remove this, you get output everything in the same line. Suppose you see, I don't put new line. Right click it and just say run as then Scala application. You can see here everything in same line. But wherever I put new line, because I need new line after printing A, I need new line after printing C. I don't need new line after printing, after printing B. I need new line after printing B. Then I need new line after printing C. But C is the last output. So I don't need to print it again. I don't need to use new line after C. There is nothing after C. So that's how you can use interpolation. This is, and but for interpolation, there should be a prefix S is important. Without S, it doesn't become interpolation. Remove this and try to print it. What happens? See here now. Let us try this. Run as a Scala application. Okay. Let us just quickly rerun one more time. What happens if you don't have C there? Still, it's working. No problem for us. Okay. But usually, to represent that interpolation, we use a prefix. What is that prefix? It's a pattern, regular expression kind of pattern here. That S acts as a, what is that prefix? Saying that it is a string. The prefix S represents it is a string. That's all. Got it right? You can still run that code. This interpolation means appending your arguments, appending these arguments in a string. Appending means including in a string by using this dollar. That is what we call interpolation. Means you can combine multiple attributes in a single statement in a string. Otherwise, we can append multiple attributes in a single string by using this string interpolation. Okay, grouping of data can be done inside a string by using these dollars. This is clear for all of you, no? The same thing in the previous version, because this is actually older version only 2.12. But if it is 2.13, this command line is following that. I can show you directly here. System dot out dot. We can just declare few variables here. How can we do that? Some val a colon int equal to 10, then val a b colon int equal to 20. Now we can apply interpolation. What is that? System dot out dot println. Okay, what can I do now? In double quotes, you can say dollar a and then dollar b here. Okay, and then let's directly print it. I didn't use prefix, but prefix is increases readability. So when you have a prefix, okay, let me try this. And still here, if you see in the command line, it is just printing it as dollar a and dollar b. It assumes this as a string, so no problem. If that is the case, what you have to do, you can quickly put a prefix here. And when you put prefix, now you see the difference. What is difference between using prefix without using prefix? You can see here when I put prefix, it is treating the whole string as a string itself, and it is not treating them as that included appended variables. So, but as when I put a prefix s, now you can see the output here. See this. As I add a prefix s, this is one more important observation. Be careful here. Okay, enter. Now you can see 10 and 20. If you want some space, you can add that. If you want to add anything text to this to increase the readability, you can do that. Now you can see this. Now you should get some good idea right now about this interpolation here. If I don't use that, it gives it the whole output as a string itself. But somehow in Eclipse, it is rendering that. It is trying to give it, even if I'm not using S here. S here might be as it is an IDE. One reason is it might be auto prefixing it. That is one reason. Still, even if in IDE, if any time if you directly get dollar a as dollar a, then just don't forget to use prefixes. Got it right? But it is working in Eclipse without s, that is fine. But still, don't take chances. Remember this point. Prefix is using prefix is always good for us, so that it works in all the cases. Clear, right? This is also one more important thing you have to understand. Interpolation is one of the most important topic in Scala. That's why I spend time on this. Okay. Now you are good, right? Are you good with your creating a program in Scala IDE, then understanding the interpolation? How do you add that to the prints? Everything is clear, right? Yes, sir, no, folks. Can I get an S or no? If you have doubts, you can also raise that. What do you say? So that's today, because I have another session after this. Okay. Today our link has changed. I'm suspecting some of our new folks, they were so busy that sometimes they cannot see that link also. That is what I observe sometimes. Okay, so people don't have that much patience nowadays, but it's fine, not an issue. I am not looking for quantity of people. Qualitative listeners is important, learners. Okay, even one or two people who has that that fire to prove yourself, to get into this domain is very important for me. So I have such people, couple of people there. Okay, that's enough. So some 3 4 people who has that burning desire, to learn it, and to do something on this big data is much important for us. And getting into that domain is very important. That is the end goal here. Okay, you also keep practicing. So now you test all this now in the Eclipse. Take 2 minutes time and test it. All the other videos are shared in the YouTube. Don't forget to share with your friends, and also spread this. That is only the request I have, nothing more. Please test it, folks. Test this. Got idea? Yes, Veera. We can use IntelliJ also. If required in one session, I will show you how to use IntelliJ. If you want it, if you want to learn it. See, all ID is almost similar, Veera. We don't see big difference, but as it is IntelliJ community, it will be little different from Java. That's all. See this Eclipse. Okay. Test it first. All of you test it once. Is it clear to run how to run a program in Scala? Okay, Srikant. So today, let me conclude. What else we have discussed today? We have discussed a few good topics. What is that? Today's discussion is this. Even we have some document with me. This is only just for reference, guys. Okay, whatever I use here, just for outline. But when we start discussing, I keep adding things to that doc. So you can have, I will share this with in a that what is that? My GitHub, but still that changes frequently. So today, what I have discussed is I have started with discussing some data types, right? We know that yesterday we have a detailed discussion, and then I'm concluding today's session. Okay, and what else we have discussed? We have seen like how to write a simple program in Scala, and how to write a functional program. For that, we have to use what is that? How do you write functional program and object OOP program, object oriented programming program? How do you differentiate both? Can you answer now in the chat box? If it is a functional program, how do you write it? If it is object oriented program, how do you write it? Answer in the chat box. Nobody wants to answer? Okay. Singleton object for what? Why do we need singleton object? Used for writing what? Functional programming, right? Then for object oriented programming, we use classes. Okay. Okay, fine. So next one. I think you got clarity, right? How to download and install Eclipse there. Installations, we don't need to install anything in Eclipse. Unzip it, there will be application executable application file. Double click on that. That a ring shaped this one you can see here, something like a kind of fan will be there. Okay, so that image, whatever you find it, you double click on it and it will start. Then what else, sir? Just create a Scala project and add an object and start working with that. Okay, clear, right? And we have seen how to apply data types also. And one important topic we have discussed today is string interpolation. What is string interpolation? What do you understand from this interpolation topic? Interpolation in sense, it's not something we pass to print statement. We can use it in different use cases. Okay, even in while trying to do some matching, some checking. So what is string interpolation? How do you? It is appending your attributes to a string by using which symbol? What is the symbol we use here? Dollar. Dollar acts as what? Dollar acts as, when you put something with dollar, it is called as a placeholder. It acts as what? A placeholder, or in place means you are trying to substitute something in place of that dollar variable. Okay. that even the same concept is there in Scala. Probably, sorry, not Scala. I'm sorry, shell script. I'm expecting these people have brought it from that shell script, because shell script is there from, it's a very old language again. Got it right? So what else? We are done for today. If you have any questions, just you can throw to me. Otherwise, we'll stop this here, and again we'll meet on Monday, because today is Friday. If I am not, we will upload this as well in the YouTube. Anybody has questions? Sir? Okay, thank you, Madhu. Thanks for positive words. Backup is there in my YouTube channel, Manichand. This is our YouTube channel, Manohar Learn Well Space Tech. Okay. Manohar Learn Well Space Tech. You can get a backup. You have everything in our channels. If you still, but what I suggest is that be very useful. YouTube videos, I have no doubt about that. But attending live also will help you better. Okay. Because you will be with me, I will be asking you to do something. Okay, I will be asking questions, at least that will alert you a bit. Okay, in YouTube you are master of your own learning, even though teacher is there. Okay, so any more questions? Okay guys, thank you. We have another session. Thank you guys.